Hello everyone, my name is Jeff Rolka. Thank you for checking out my video. This is questions from comments 58. Sorry it's taken me a while to get to these questions and answers. This is a question about how to do the exercises here on the channel. Really good question. Are there idiot-proof ways to know some exercise is too advanced or difficult, i.e. causes more harm than good when doing these? Or is everything allowed? If it feels somewhat fine? Question mark. I always do both baritone and tenor exercises from you, and occasionally they feel extra fatiguing or too much work. Mostly not, though. But I usually think it's a good kind of training fatigue, as it goes away quite fast. This is a very good question because so much of what we do as musicians is about building good habits and hopefully avoiding bad habits. And if we haven't been able to avoid all our bad habits, we have to learn to circumvent them and rewrite those patterns into our performance practice. And as the old adage goes, it takes a lot more time and effort to rewrite those habits than it does to write them well in the first place. So on one hand, yes, everything kind of goes, but there are a few points that I would make to keep track of. And if you notice these things happening frequently, then reevaluate how you are doing the exercises, reevaluate aspects of your singing. Number one, it shouldn't hurt. First and foremost, if you're singing these exercises, and I'm particularly thinking of the upper register stuff, and you find yourself getting sore or hoarse or any of those things, that is not the way the exercises on my channel are intended to be done. The exercises on my channel are written so that they take into account the idea that a vocalist is going to do registration event practices. In other words, you're going to transition through the various registers of your voice. If you are new to that practice, there are exercises for that, but you have to either know you haven't done it in the past or observe and understand what's going on with your voice and then go and do the registration event practices. If you notice that when you do the exercises, you are hearing vast differences from one vowel to the next, that too is an indication that your practice is maybe not yet ready for a given exercise, or you just haven't approached that in the first place. That's fine. We all don't know what we don't know until we learn that we don't know something, if that makes sense. And so once we learn that we have missed something, we can go back. It's got to be getting close to 1,500 now videos on this channel. I have covered an awful lot of ground. If you have been singing for a long time, but you haven't been taking lessons, then coming to these exercises, try to think about yourself with a beginner's mindset. It may go quickly, but go to the beginner playlist and work your way through those videos. They're not terribly long. And once you've done that and you understand the concepts for vowel alignment, and maybe even arpeggio breath management, then getting into the regular warm-up videos will make a lot more sense and you'll understand more about what you're supposed to be trying to do. With all of this stuff, if you are not getting the help of a teacher, then you're going to have to try to observe yourself and diagnose what's happening. This can be challenging. This is where recording yourself can be very beneficial. I would advise you to do the recording of the vocalizations and then set it aside for 2 or 3 days. I find that for myself personally, when I do that, I can then listen to myself more as an observer and not so much as the vocalist. It's almost as if I'm listening to a client of mine. And then I can say, oh, well, that vowel is a little bit out of alignment as compared to this vowel, and so on and so forth. So you're going to have to explore a little bit, and a little bit of experimentation is necessary. But within that context, try to notice patterns. oh, whenever I do full range exercises here on the channel, I always sound a bit strained when I get towards the higher part of the exercise right before Jeff starts to then descend. You may need to work on apagio breath management. You may need to work on vowel modifications in the zona de passaggio. You may need to work on registration event practice. And the extreme form of that would take the form of getting like hoarse or feeling sore and things like that. I'm not getting the impression that that's the kind of fatigue you're talking about in your question, but if it is, then those are some things that you can explore and hopefully it will help. Great question. I do hope my answer helps. Please drop follow-ups in the comments below if you have additional questions or clarifications, and I'll do my best to answer them. And until next time, thanks for subscribing. A big thank you to my Patreon supporters, and take really good care of your voices. Enjoy singing, and hopefully we'll see you again. Bye.